IB Business Management Top 5 Tips for Exam Success. The tip number one is to master the command terms. The command terms are important because they show you how to answer properly to a questions. Because in the exams, paper 1, 2, and 3, there will be numerous questions, each one with a different term. And as here, it's an example of some of them that can appear like define, it specifically asks you to give a clear meaning, describe to give you characteristic or features, explain, give reasons, and show how something works. And there are many others that you have to completely understand so that you can answer correctly to the answer the way that you are intended to. The tip number two is to learn the business terminology and the key concepts. The in, the important the concepts are important because it is good to know what you are talking about and use a good language on answering the questions like profitability, liquidity, market share. It's important to know these and learn them correctly so that you can give a direct answer to the question and explain correctly what you are asked to. The tip number three is to manage your time effectively. Manage your time for the exams on the IB is important because you have a specific time that you are given as in any other exam, but you don't have more of that, then it causes you some trouble if you cannot manage it effectively. Recommendations for doing this are like read the entire paper first, and then you should start with the questions that you feel more confident about. Why? Because in this way, you would be able to, even if you don't manage to complete the whole exam when the time ends, you will have filled the answers that you most know about. You should, considering this, also follow the mark allocation because given the answers that you know you can answer correctly, the ones that have the most mark are the ones that will most benefit you to answer them, and they would give you more marks even if the time is finish. The tip number four is to try to remember the formulas. There are many formulas on the business management signature. In each paper, try to remember them since the beginning, but not only to memorizing them, but to understand them. So that this it would be that if you don't remember completely the formula, you could understand what the question is asking you. So but out of pure logic, you could understand what you are needed to calculate given considering the data you are given. The tip number five is to understand the structure of each exam paper. Each paper is different, and so you would need to know what you would be taken from each one of them. The paper one uses a pre-released case study that you prepare in class beforehand. It focuses heavily on deep qualitative analysis and applications to that specific business. The paper two uses unseen business scenarios on the exam day, focuses heavily on quantitative skills, calculations, and constructing financial charts, like the break-even one or the cash flow. And the paper three, that this is one for only for the high level students, is that it uses an unseen case study centered specifically on a social enterprise, focuses on high level strategy recommendations, balancing profit with social mission. It's important to know how to identify each one of them and the important parts of this so that you can beforehand know what you are going to be tested on. IB business and management is not as hard as one can expect from the start, so always try your best because that is enough. And finally, my recommendation for the future students that will be on the diploma program 2 is that if you have any questions in class, don't be afraid to ask them, because it's something that you are learning with all of your other friends. And try to always study everything from the start so that you know what the topic is and feel prepared for the exam. That will be all. Thanks.